Hey, it's Doug with Money Sage. So today I'm going to show you Basecamp. I showed you Trello before, and that's in the video about how I get things done, and that's what I use for my personal. But for work, I use Basecamp, and we have teams set up in there, and we have different projects set up in there. So I can't show you that for work because of proprietary information in there. But what I'll do is I will walk you through setting up a new account with Basecamp, and I'll edit this in the post edit, and strip down some of the time. That way we're not just waiting on things to load. But anyways, let's jump right over to my PC and let's get this going. Okay, so brought up a new browser, basecamp.com, and let me go ahead and make sure it's trusted. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to try it for free. Your company name, and I will call it Doug's Widget Factory. Doug's Widgets. And I am the CEO. Actually, I'll just make myself project manager. Okay, so base screen, this is what you're going to be brought into. You immediately have an HQ that you can go and add people to, add announcements to. Let's see, no thanks. So if I wanted to, I could invite people to this company, okay? And it's pretty easy to do. You can either do it by email address or so you can add them by email address. You can title company, whatever you like to do. Okay, add a personal note in it, stuff like that. Just simple adding people. They can be inside your company or outside your company. It just depends on what you want to give them access to. Okay. Typically for HQ, for your own personal stuff or for your company, you're not going to give outside access to that. Okay. Let's just go back to home. So you can have teams, okay? So they give you an example here, a demo, and you can delete these after you're done. But as you can see here, we'll just walk through this real quick, okay, before we create a new team or anything like that. We'll just walk through this. So up at the top, you're going to see the title there, and then also right below it, you're going to see a description, okay? And you can change those to be whatever you want, okay? So we'll say customer support, Western Hemisphere. Okay. And then below that, it's going to show you the team members that are part of that group, okay, or that team. So, and look here, you can go and add or remove people here. And when you add or remove people here, it does not add them anything above or anything below. It only adds them to this specific team, okay? And then message board. This is just like your regular chat board, okay? I'm sorry, it's not. I have mine set up differently. And let's change that around, okay? Because I don't like the message board right there. That really messes me up. So I like my Campfire, the first board we see, okay? Then the message board, to-dos. I actually like schedule over here. Automatic check-ins in the middle. And there we go. And then also email forwards. You can turn that on, and I'm going to turn it on right now, okay? And I'll tell you what that is in just a second. So, all right, so Campfire. It truly is, you're sitting around a campfire and you're talking, you're chatting to each other, and it's just a free form. Okay, and people can answer back. You know, it shows the icons who you are. It's like texting basically. But or if you've ever used like Discord or any of those type applications, you know, it's a back and forth constant chat. Whatever, you can throw pictures in there. You got emojis, whatever you want to do. Okay, so anyways. And then back on the message board, that's where you can go create specific items for this. So like in this case, customer support Western Hemisphere, you could put in there, you know, hey, there's a new announcement, new software app release. Let's see, at end of year. Okay. And now it's there. So anyone that was subscribed to this will get that notice immediately, either via their app on their phone. Okay, you can have the app on a phone and it'll alert you that way via notification, or you get an email. So, but let's go back to the message board, and you can see now it's at the top. And then next to those is in these little circles. That's how many comments are on that announcement or message. So if we open this up here, you're going to see the different people that have commented on this. Okay. Yeah, okay, Basecamp. All right. Good job. Hey. So anyways, so the message board in effect becomes like the Campfire to a certain extent, but it's per post or per message, per announcement. Okay. To-dos. Now, to-dos is where you can really get into some of the nitty-gritty of this. Okay. So right now, as you can see, you've got different sections of your to-dos, and you can break this out in multiple different ways. Okay. But let's say I'm going to create a new list, and I'm going to say Doug's list. And I can't type. Okay. One of my items. Okay, so what do I need to do? I need to make coffee. I need to check email. I need to let the dog out. And I need to turn off exterior lights. So part of my daily routines, okay? Cancel, edit, there we go. Now if I go back to the to-dos, you're going to see I'm at the top, but I don't want to be at the top. Maybe I need to be, maybe this needs to be in alphabetical order. So, well, I'm already in alphabetical order. So, but either way, I just want to change, I want to move it. So all I got to do is just drag and drop it down to where I want to go. And as you see, it's got these little boxes where it shows you where you can put it into, okay? So I'm just going to release it there, and now it's done. Now, it's simple as I can just check it and hey, it's done. It puts it below my list. I can add another to-do right at the bottom. If I want to reorder these, I can just drag and drop and reorder them. Let's say that, this is my order here. Turn off exterior lights. Maybe I need to put something else in there. Or let's see, let's add a comment, or no, let's add a note to this. Okay. If I go back to my list, you're going to see it has a little note icon beside it. When you hover over it, it's going to show you what the extra little note was, okay? Now, if I want to start a discussion or I want to put notes on this, maybe this is a long-standing to-do item, okay? One of the ones we use when we're opening a new store is, someone's got to contact the power company. So when that happens, what we may do is, contacted power company, waiting tech to come out. Okay. Anyone who can see this to-do list can see that item now, and they can see where I've been. So even if you have a new employee or someone new that you're bringing on that, you may have a long-standing project that maybe you're in it for months at a time or even weeks. And instead of having to forward them emails or spend a lot of time catching them back up on a project, you can add them to the project or add them to this to-do list. And now they can go back and they can see all the history. So, tech came out. And there you go. I'll mark it as done. And you can see now that one, it's got a note on it, but two, it's got 2 comments on it, okay? Let's go back to the to-dos. Now, if you notice some of these other ones, there's a schedule on them. And there's also a name. So you can assign these to certain people in the team, okay, or whoever you've invited to this. But when they're done, let's say I want to be notified, okay, and then save it. So now whenever this is done, I'm going to be notified of it immediately, okay? Let's see, what else? One thing I don't like about Basecamp is, let's say that I need something to happen on a regular basis. Well, it's harder to create a recurring task that way, okay? They have what's called templates, and you can set those up, but it's not like, at least I haven't found it so far, that I can say that, hey, I need this to happen every Monday. I need you to create a task for every Monday, okay? I can do it from, date to date, but I can't do it for every Monday. Let's say that I need to, I don't know, I need to follow up on someone or check someone's status, see if they're still alive, whatever. And this can only happen, every Monday. So anyways, I haven't been able to figure out how to do that. Now, let's say that, let's go back to to-dos. And let's pick the schedule one. Okay, we're in the schedule. I want to subscribe to it if I need to, if I'm not already subscribed to it. As you see, it adds my icon there. I can go in there and type in a note or whatever I need to do. The haze are any notifications. So if there's anything done on this to do, I would get the notification, and that's where it would be at. Okay. All your notifications are going to show up there. Activity, is a different thing. So let's go back to her tasks, and let's go back to the support team. So the next one is schedule. So in scheduling, you can create different tasks, or not tasks, but different items and events, and you can set those. And here you can repeat it. Unlike the to-do list, which I couldn't figure out how to make a task or a to-do item go every Monday, here you can actually create an event, and you can have repeating events. So just whatever you want to do, however you want to set it up. It's totally up to you. So there's different options there. You can add notes to it, stuff like this. You can choose who to notify on those events if it's not going to be everyone. You know, throw a note in there, post it, and scroll down and you'll see it. So as you can see, you know, in part of this sample one, there's a lot of events out there. So if your team has, you know, a schedule or certain events you need to put out there, so like holidays or time off or, you know, things where the company's closed or stuff like that, major items, you can put it there in the schedule. And you can see, you know, not everyone's subscribed to all those. There's different ones. Some of them have comments, some don't. It's just purely up to you. But like I said before, I have not figured out a way on the to-do items to create a repeating item, but you can create repeating events in the schedule. So let's talk about automatic check-ins. So this is something we do use, and we use this quite a bit for our team. So, you know, especially with COVID right now, we're all spread out, we're working from home, but there's some of us that work from home full time anyways. And, you know, we can't all get together in a meeting or maybe on conference call, video call, or whatever all the time to say what everyone's doing. So we actually use one of these automatic check-ins to say, hey, what are the top 1 or 2 items you're doing this week? Or not this week, but this day. And we'll usually check it. You know, we have this going 2 or 3 times a day. I'm sorry. We have it going 2 to 3 times a week. So, you know, you're asked what your top 1 or 2 items are. And everyone replies, you know, puts in their items. And as you can see, it gets thrown in here, kind of like a blog. And it is, you know, the newest is shown first. So the farther back you go, that is showing history. But we can put in there, hey, I'm working on this or I'm working on that. And it allows for group collaboration or for someone to say congrats or, you know, basically know what other team members are doing throughout their day, because it could be something that affects your projects, things that you're working on. So you're able to collab on that and get things done and be more productive as a group. That way you're not necessarily working against each other either. But everyone gets to see what everyone else is doing to a certain extent. So, and like I said, you know, we are doing this 2 to 3 times a week, and we're asking that. So, and you know, we're asking our team members to fill that in. So docs and files, I don't really use it that much, but you can if you want. You know, you can connect Google Drive, all that stuff. We typically do not use this. We typically keep our files and folders in a network share. That way we get corporate security with it instead of trying to rely on the security that Basecamp has. Because basically, if you can see the project, you can see the files that are in it, and there's not granular security on each file that I know of. So like I said, you know, we keep it outside of here, okay? But it's here if you want to use it. We choose not to. So. And then last but not least on this is email forwards. And this is something that we use quite a bit. So let's say we got a long-standing project and we have notes that are coming in from outside vendors or whatever else, and we want to put it in our project. So Basecamp gives you an email address that you can use to email or forward stuff to. And, you know, in our Outlook, whatever, we will actually forward an email from outside vendor or whatever to Basecamp. And if it's got an attachment, it will go into that file in docs, you know, if we choose to do that. But every project gets their own generated email address, okay? And so once you send something to that address, it's going to be put into the project. And you can play around with it, stuff like this. This one here, because it's a sample, I can't show you. That email address is not going to work for me. So we'll just just know it does that. Let's move on. Okay, let's talk about projects now. Okay, let's add a team. Call it sales. And basically, if you go in here, you're going to get the default template. Same thing you've seen everywhere else. No, I don't need help setting up the team. You can change these things around. You can invite people, do whatever you need to do. Okay, so I'm not going to spend much time here. It's the same as what it looks like we've already covered before. So if you're a developer and you have the paid version, you can do chat box, webhooks, stuff like that. So there is some development, some automation you can put with it. With the free version, though, we're not going to have that. Let's see. So let's go. Let's go back to the home. And now let's work on projects. Okay. And let's just create a test one. Okay. Same thing as you got before. This layout should look very familiar to you now. Let's go to message board. Let's add a FYI. We're opening up a new store. New store. We'll give the address. Let's do IP subnets. And if there's any special notes or anything like that we need to put in here to inform our team members or people about, then we can put that in there too. So let's post that. It's there. So now if you go back to the message board, it's there, team projects. Let's see. We can invite some people. Typically, I don't invite people until after I've made the announcement first. That way, once they're invited to the project and they get in there, they see what the project's for. Okay, it's not just a blank project. They do get something right from the get-go. Let's work on to-dos now. I'm just going to add some extra or some in here to fill in. Item 3. That should be good for that one. And I can just copy that, replicate it. And if I want to, I could view these as cards instead of a list item. So Kanban cards, whatever type deal, you can list them that way and then drag and drop them, stuff like that. Let's add another one, other than a list. Let's put those items in there also. Just copy and pasting. Okay, that should be good. Go back. And let's drag them in order. Okay, so there we go. We can keep adding as many as we need to, okay? Now, one thing I do like about this is this get a public link right here. What this is going to do is, it's like it says, a shareable link. And I'm not going to copy it out or whatever, but I'm going to preview it, okay? And to show you what it is. So let's say you got a long-standing items and some are checked, some are not, whatever, but you need to share it with an outside source. Well, you don't want to give them access to Basecamp necessarily. You can if you want to, but if you don't want to, you just want to share it out, it will give you this PDF type version that is accessible by a public link. So they can go see it. They can't do anything with it. They can't edit it or check anything or whatever, but they can at least see it, okay? So that's a handy feature to have, and I like doing that. The other thing is you can set up the hill chart, okay? And, you know, the hill chart's nice when you have a presentation to give, but one of my biggest hang-ups on it, I guess, is it doesn't automate, or it doesn't automatically update when you click an item checked. So as you see right here, I'm having to click the update button in order for it to update, and it doesn't move the dots at all. So this is a manual process. So as it says, you have to drag the dot to wherever you want to on the chart, okay? And then once you do that, you click on Save This Update, and that's where it's at. So it's a very manual process on that, but it's a nice for presentation wise, you know, but if you have a lot of different items here, you know, just realize it's a manual process. You're gonna have to drag and drop it basically. Let's go back. Come on. There we go. All right, so let's go back to home. Now, one thing I like to do is make a project as a template, or make a template so I don't have to keep recreating this stuff over and over, typing this stuff over and over, okay? There we go. Sorry, I've got a little bit of delay. So let's just call this project template, new store, and items needed for opening new store. Okay, so same familiarity with the different items that are there already, but now if you notice the background is like this, the old architecture, architect paper. So we can make whatever tools that we want to show up here for a new project. So we don't need all of them all the time. And there's a lot of times where I turn things off depending upon what the project is. So I'm just going to do that real quick. I'm going to go through here and move some things around. Turn things on and off. Schedule. I want that over here. I want to add email. There we go. Okay, so to do, let's move that up there. So camp message to, yep, that's why I want it. Okay, and that's how I normally do it. So now, as you can see, every time you open up this project template, that's what you're going to get. Okay, let's add the announcement for what it is. Do address. Yeah, that's good enough. So now that's there. Okay, let's go back to the message board, new store. And now let's go add some to-dos, okay? So basically what we were doing before with those two to-do lists, we're going to go add some now that we would normally have anytime we open up a store, okay? Water, what else? Yeah, stripe the parking lot. Okay. Let's add another one. Opening day. Yeah, let's add some items here. Yeah. Pick up the trash in the parking lot. Yeah, because the parking lot should already be striped at this point in time. Let's, we got to man the phones. We got to uniforms. Make sure everyone's in good uniform. Anyways, let's just go with that. Yeah, I'm going to go back to the regular default. I like seeing them like this for now. Okay, let's add another one. Accounting tasks. Because accounting always has tasks every time we open up a new store. Let's see. Set up bank accounts. Order checks. We need to order invoice paper. Yeah. Probably need to add another one. I'll come back to that. So anyways, you can drag and drop these around. And if you'll notice, there's when you start dragging it, there was a dash there. That's where you could drop it into, like I said before. Okay, so this is the template. This is what we basically need right here. I'm not going to put anything in schedule or email forwards because we don't need that right now. And email forwards actually wouldn't work. It won't work until you actually create the project because it's a unique email address specific to that project, okay? And schedule, there's nothing to put there at this point in time. Okay, so this is basic. This is what it's going to look like, okay? Yep. Campfire, nothing in there. All right, let's go back to the home. Let's see. All right, let's add a new one. And this time, instead of new project, we're going to go new from template. And right now we only have one in there, but you can have multiple templates in there, okay? Let's see, next. Now we're going to name this. So we're actually going to give it the store name. So I'm just going to give it store 101. All right, it's created. That was really quick. Sometimes, depending upon how many to-do items or whatever else you got, it could take longer to create, and you just got to wait on it. But that was really quick because there's not much in it. So now let's go in here. As you can see, items needed for opening a new store, store 101. It's got my to-dos that are in there. I didn't have to create those. Those were already created for me, when it auto-created from the template. And if you go back and manage templates, and let's say that you want to add another to-do item, okay? So let's see, assign check signers. Now, since I've added this here, this is a brand new one. It's not going to go back to existing projects and re-add them to the to-do list. Okay, so basically, what I would have to do is any new projects would pick up that change. But as you can see here, I'm going to go here. It doesn't pick up the change in the existing project. And as far as I know, there's no way to re-import from the project template. So once it's created, it's created. So I would have to go in here and add it to do it manually. So let's go across the top at the top, okay? So you got your home, which is here. And then pings, these are all private chats, direct messages between you and whoever else. You can have as many of those you want. Hey, that's all your notifications. You can't really do anything there. Those are just auto notifications for you. Activity, this is things that you've done or things that you're on. Maybe you checked off a to-do list, or you added an item, or you completed a schedule event, something like that. And right now it's emailing a daily summary of these items. And I don't want that. That just junks up my email. I get it via my browser anyways, because I have a tab. So I just uncheck it. I don't need it. That way it's not going to email me. So I get the notifications a different way. To me, this is great if you want to see something, or maybe send this to someone, but I don't use it. So down here, my stuff is truly your stuff. Anything that's assigned to you is going to show up here. Things that you have assigned to other people, same thing, emailing it. I don't want that every Monday morning. It's just junking out my email again, so I get rid of it. Let's go down to all the recent stuff I've visited. And let's say that there's a project here I don't see that I want to try to search. Maybe you got a bunch of them. You can hit Control J, and it'll bring up a search. And you can type in a key term or something else that you want to search for. It's a full text search. And, it'll bring it up. So let's go back to my stuff again and my drafts. Where's it at? There it is. Okay. So one of the things I do a lot is I will create a draft, and I don't post it yet. Maybe it's an announcement, maybe it's a new to-do item or some kind of update that I'm working on throughout the day, and I'll save it as a draft. Well, we could have 100 projects. I don't want to have to go through each project and find that. So I can go here, my stuff, do the drafts, and find it. If it's not mine, I'm searching for something else, I can just use the find. You saw it. Real simple. So self-explanatory. All right, admin land. If you're an administrator, you can go add or remove people or change their access. There's some things you can see on them, but not a lot. I mean, there's not a lot to a Basecamp profile, okay? Let's go back. You can add or remove administrators. You can rename or delete the company. Show what's on the home screen. Maybe you don't need to see everything. Maybe you don't want the HQ portion of it. Maybe this is not for the entire company. Maybe it's just for your team or a set of teams. So therefore, we go back. It's removed. Let's go back into admin land and re-add it, re-put it back the way it was default. Okay. Message categories. So, instead of an F&I and an announcement, let's add a new one, and we'll just say loving it or love it. Okay. And there we go. So you can add as many of those as you want. Basecamp 2 to 3, we're not really doing that because when you start using Basecamp, it's brand new. You're going to be on 3. You have your account, invoices, go to a paid account, stuff like that. Let's go back to home. But basically, that's about it. I mean, so basically, we used Trello before. Now we're using Basecamp. Just clicking through here, different items you can see. You can create as many projects as you want. You can pin them. You got your customer support hemisphere. So basically, what I'm showing you right now is, if you'll notice on the different icons for security. I was just talking about before about, you can see who has access to that card or that template, not template, but that project. If you don't see their name there, they don't have access to it. And that's it. There's no granular security. So if they have access to the project or to the item, they have access to everything, okay? So I can't go in there, like I said, with docs and files and create a file level security. That's what we use our network for, a network share outside of Basecamp. So basically, if you got 5 people assigned to the team, and that team is not the same on the project, then those members aren't going to be able to see that archive, or not archive, but that project. But if you go add them to the project, they can now see it. And you don't have to have everyone on the team on that project. And plus, you can have your own projects. So I've got some out there where I've not invited anyone to them. And so therefore, no one can see that I've got these projects out there in Basecamp, except for, of course, the administrators. The administrators can see everything. But I can have a private basically a private project going on. And if I ever need to bring someone else in later on down the road, I can invite that person to the project, and now they can see everything that is in that project and the history of it, all the notes, everything I've put in there. So, anyways, that's the wrap up there on Basecamp. So, if you like the video, please hit the like button, but definitely subscribe and hit the bell down below. That way you get a notice every time I release a new video. But hey, thank you for watching.